I think there's three guys that I'm comfortable saying are three of the five best players ever. And it's Kareem, LeBron, and MJ.
Kobe had no flaws. I don't like talking about guys' flaws, but if we're talking about the greatest ever, we should be allowed to pick apart people's games. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying.
The internet erupted almost instantly. Twitter went into a frenzy, all because one person finally said what he genuinely believed. No filters, no fake smiles, no carefully rehearsed talking points. Andre Iguodala crossed one of the biggest unspoken lines in modern basketball media, and watching JJ Redick scramble in real time to smooth things over was wild. To understand why this moment mattered so much, it's important to break down what actually happened, because it perfectly captures where basketball debates stand today. This wasn't meant to be another safe, friendly podcast conversation where everyone nods along, stays polite, and recycles the same all-time great opinions. It started as a calm discussion about elite players, the kind fans have heard countless times before. But then Iguodala made it clear he wasn't interested in playing that soft, agreeable game anymore. Once he shifted gears and spoke honestly, it became obvious why so many players choose silence over honesty. Because the moment you truly say what you think, everything changes.
You can't have any flaws.
Because everybody, when they talk about the most skilled players, the same guys always get brought up. It's Kyrie, it's Kobe, maybe Kevin Durant's in there. They don't talk about LeBron. They don't talk about Shaq, because to them, the best player is based on aesthetics, not necessarily performance and effectiveness.
Here's the part that actually matters. Andre Iguodala built his entire career around being a defensive nightmare that elite scorers had to deal with. His job was to study the best players in the world, break down their tendencies, find the smallest cracks in their games, and shut them down with precision. He went to war with Kobe Bryant and battled prime superstars night after night. This isn't a fan throwing opinions around from a couch. This is someone who had to solve the problem of stopping legends on the court, possession by possession. So when Iguodala talks about flaws, he's not guessing or theorizing. He's sharing real insight from real NBA battles, where every possession mattered and the stakes were serious. The conversation itself starts off like any typical, calm basketball discussion. They go through the usual names in the greatest of all-time debate. Kareem gets his respect, LeBron's name comes up, and inevitably, Michael Jordan enters the conversation.
But you have to really play hard. Does that hurt you physically?
No, because when I play hard all the time. You know, there's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% at all times.
Everyone is nodding along, playing it safe, acting like nothing controversial is about to happen. Then Iguodala drops a take you can tell he's been holding in for years, like he finally got tired of staying quiet. He separates the names into an entirely different tier, saying that Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan operated on a level even other all-time greats simply couldn't reach. And then he uses a single word that instantly changes the energy in the room: flawless. The moment that word lands, you can practically see JJ Redick's mind start racing, because he understands exactly what Iguodala just implied without ever saying it outright. If Kobe and MJ were flawless, then everyone else must have flaws, including the player JJ, and much of the media have been pushing as the clear-cut greatest over the past few years. And JJ can't let that implication stand. The problem is, he can't actually argue against Iguodala's point, because on some level he knows it's coming from real experience. So instead of challenging the basketball substance of the take, he pivots the conversation entirely, steering it away from pure on-court skill and into a completely different debate.
We come to practice, he's on one leg. Like he was hurt the second year, he was on one leg the whole year and played 82 games. Wow. And so he practiced every day and he played every game on one leg. And so you're like, man, MJ, why don't you just sit up? How can I be the leader of the team and sit out and y'all going through all the credit? I gotta be there.
I twisted my ankle and I had a teammate, David Greenwood. He says, you twist your ankle, young fella, come over and sit with me. You need to. I said, no, man, I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact.
Once Iguodala makes his point, the conversation suddenly shifts. It's no longer about skill. Now it's about championships, longevity, eras, rule changes, and every advanced stat JJ Redick can reach for. He starts throwing out argument after argument, hoping something sticks. Meanwhile, you can almost see Iguodala thinking, that's not even what I said. This is the part people usually avoid, but here's the reality. When you strip away the noise, fancy numbers, edited highlights and narrative-driven debates, and focus strictly on pure basketball skill, LeBron James does not operate in the same lane as Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan. People can get angry, comment sections can explode, essays can be written, but none of that changes the truth. The panic that sets in whenever someone says this out loud only proves how protected the current narrative has become. To understand Iguodala's point, you have to understand what flawless actually means on the court. It doesn't mean perfect shooting nights or winning every game. It means that when a professional defender studies your film for hours, looking for something, anything, to attack, they come up empty. It means you don't have a weakness a team can build an entire game plan around. Your offensive game is complete from top to bottom, with no obvious gaps. That's exactly what Iguodala was talking about, and that's the gap separating Kobe and Jordan from everyone else. Think about Michael Jordan for a moment. What was his weakness? Not modern three-point percentages, but an actual consistent way to shut him down. There wasn't one. He could post you up, face you up, knock down the mid-range, get to the rim, dominate defensively, hit free throws, and close games without hesitation. There was nowhere to hide. Kobe Bryant was the same way. Teams spent years searching for a crack in his game and never found one. His footwork was surgical, his shot selection was fearless, his mentality never broke, and his free throws were automatic pressure killers. Now comes the uncomfortable part of the discussion. LeBron James, for all his greatness, has visible gaps in his game. Gaps people see but often refuse to acknowledge. His free throw shooting has always been inconsistent, and in some of the biggest moments of his career, those free throws didn't fall when they mattered most. That's not opinion, that's on the record. His handle is strong, but it's not elite, and he's lost the ball in major moments. His outside shooting improved over time, but no defender is losing sleep over his jumper. They fear his drives and his passing, not his pull-up. In clutch situations, LeBron has also passed up shots that Kobe and Jordan would have taken instantly. That isn't hate, it's observable fact, backed by countless clips. And before calling that smart basketball, consider what it reveals. It shows that even LeBron understands his shot-making isn't at the level where he can force the issue the way Kobe and MJ did. Those two lived for that pressure. They demanded the ball and welcomed the moment. That mentality matters when talking about being truly flawless. This is why the debate turns into a war every time. For over a decade, there's been a massive push to crown LeBron as the undisputed greatest ever. Media narratives, analyst careers, and entire platforms have been built around that idea. Admitting LeBron has real flaws threatens that foundation. So instead of engaging honestly, critics label opposing views as hate, accuse people of living in the past, and bury the conversation under piles of statistics, as if numbers alone tell the whole story. That's what J.J. Redick represents in this moment. He isn't just defending LeBron, he's defending a style of evaluating basketball that prioritizes advanced metrics over what your eyes see on the court. To the analytics crowd, LeBron's efficiency, assists, longevity, and resume make him the obvious choice. But Iguodala comes from a different world, one where you actually had to step on the hardwood and figure out how to stop someone in real time. In that world, the answer was clear. Kobe and Jordan gave you nothing easy, nothing predictable, and nothing exploitable. Put it this way. If you're an NBA coach trying to slow down prime LeBron, there's a blueprint. Load the paint, force him into jumpers, and hope he gets shaky at the free throw line late. It doesn't always work. He's still an all-time great, but the blueprint exists. Now try applying that same logic to Kobe or Jordan. What's the plan? Double them and they'll dissect it. Play them physical and they'll live at the line. Give them space and they'll rise up over you. There is no real answer, and defenders have known that forever. That's the real difference, and it explains why the debate spirals so fast. LeBron supporters immediately pivot to rings, finals appearances, scoring records, and longevity. The conversation always shifts. It's never centered on pure one-on-one skill or offensive completeness. And that alone says everything. If LeBron's individual skill set were flawless, that would be the first argument people made, but it isn't, so the topic always moves elsewhere. Iguodala understands this better than most because he lived it. He spent his career trying to slow down legends, and he knows exactly where the gaps are. When he says Kobe and Jordan were flawless, he isn't being dramatic. He's speaking from first-hand experience. And the explosive reaction to that simple statement shows how uncomfortable people become when someone speaks honestly about basketball greatness. At its core, this moment exposed a deeper divide. One side values the eye test, skill, craft, mentality, and the art of the game. The other side leans on stats, efficiency, trophies, and resumes. Both claim objectivity, but only one side is willing to admit when a player has weaknesses. From a defender's perspective, flawless means total offensive completeness, scoring from anywhere, creating without help, punishing mismatches, shooting over length, finishing through contact, hitting free throws under pressure, and closing games when everyone knows what's coming. Kobe and Michael Jordan checked every box. With LeBron, there are scenarios: make him shoot, make him hit late free throws, make him settle. And that difference is exactly what Iguodala was pointing out.